Looks like we're up and running. Alright. Looks like we're good to go. Alrighty, welcome back. Finally back after a bit of time with some more Pokemon Run&Bun Hardcore Nuzlocke. Today we have a very got a special stream today because in the past streams I've been making my way through Team Magma Hideout, and today I've pre-prepped all the fights that are left in the final room of the hideout, which is been dubbed by the community Hell Room. And it's 5 battles in total, and all of them are in permanent Magma Storm. So yeah, this is hopefully by the end of the stream I'll make it through. This is my current furthest attempt, so this would be a huge milestone to hit. Being able to get past this section of the game, which is considered one of the hardest sections. And I can definitely agree, just considering how much prep I had to do for these fights. But I think at least for the first few, I've got I think I've prepped it to be pretty much riskless for the first 3 fights. And then there's the 2 boss battles, which are pretty scary fights, so. But yeah, I have notes here for each of the battles, so we're going to start with the first one here. Magma for number 13. So let me get the team prepped for this fight here. Let's see, for the first fight we need... We're gonna need... Electrode. We need... Golisopod. We need Hydreigon, which I think is already in the party. We need Galvantula. Let's see, he's over here. We need Arcanine. And we need Magnezone. Alright. That looks good. And then for items here, so we need a to equip a magnet for Electrode. We need to give Golisopod a citrus berry. We need to give Hydreigon the Dragon Fang. No item for Galvantula, and then 2 shed shells for both Arcanine and Magnezone. And then we need some pre-damage. Let's see, Glycopod needs to be pre-damaged to 178 HP. So let's do that here. And Hydreigon needs to be pre-damaged to 198. Alright. And that should be good. I have my notes here on the side for this fight. I prepped this one like probably a few days ago, so I probably won't remember the exact in and outs, but I have a turn-by-turn plan pre-made here, so. And I triple-checked everything to make sure it's all good to go, so yeah, I'm ready to just get started with these fights, and hopefully I planned everything out correctly here. So let's go ahead and head on over to the Hell Room of Team Magma Hideout here. Beat all these guys. We managed to do it all with no deaths up to this point, which is pretty awesome, but that's definitely not gonna be the case once we get later into these fights here. And so we go. Yeah, we beat her. Final Hell Room should be down here. Yep. And we can tell because of the background here. Alright, so let me save. And just triple check. Magnet. Citrus Berry, 178. Dragon Fang, 198. No item, Shed Shell, Shed Shell. Alright. Let's go and start with the first fight here. Alright. First of the grunts. So there's the Magma Storm, which basically for all of these fights in this section, your team is in basically trapped because of the Magma Storm. What it does, it traps you like Shadow Tag, so you can't swap out unless you have Ghost type, switching moves like U-turn or Volt Switch, or if you're holding a Shed Shell. And on top of that, at the end of every turn, you lose 1/8 of your total HP. Which is a ridiculous set of circumstances, but it's... So, we have a Kangaskhan lead here, who's got Fake Out, and we're just gonna let it go for Fake Outs, to let it use up its turn, and deal some damage to us, so... It's like a Fake Out. And there's the Magma Storm. Alright, so now we're going to... because of that Fake Out damage, the thing that's also scary about this Kangaskhan is that it has Sing to put you to sleep, but right now it's using guaranteed KO with Facade. So I'm going to Volt Switch to deal some damage. Which is one of the ways that allows you to swap out. And then the other way is with Glycopod. After taking this damage, I'll get Emergency Exit to be able to swap again. Yeah, so return. This will bring us below half. Citrus Berry brings us above half, and we switch out. And then we're gonna bring in Hydreigon. We'll take a little bit of damage here. Alright, and with that, damage from Volt Switch, Dragon Fang boosted Dracometer will be able to take this thing out. Alright, and what should come in next is the Centiskorch. Perfect. Alright, so Centiskorch here, because of the damage that I took, it sees a guaranteed KO with Leech Life. But I do outspeed, so what I can do is I could U-turn to swap out and deal some damage. And then we're gonna swap to our Arcanine to take the Leech Life. And then we're gonna, yeah, big crit. We're gonna KO now with Rock Slide. Oh, it's gonna go for Protect. The damage is gonna be very tight here. Alright. And this should bring in oh wait, oh, I think I did something wrong here. Oh shoot. Did I already mess up? Okay, no. Okay, yeah, so this is Toxapex. So Toxapex here sees a guaranteed KO with Liquidation. So we are gonna swap to Galvantula to take a Liquidation here. Just check if that's right. Yeah. We'll always love a crit here. Alright, and then we outspeed and we can use a Volt Switch to deal some damage, then swap out. Yeah, the Magma Storm's permanent throughout the whole fight. Alright, so we're gonna Volt Switch to Magnezone here. On a Liquidation. And then we can now outspeed and KO with Thunderbolt. Alright, and then this just leaves a Crobat. And the thing that's scary about this team is that this Crobat has choice specs. With Hurricane, which you definitely do not want it to let it use. But with this baiting, it now is guaranteed to go for Heat Wave and get locked into that. So let me just check something here. because I think... Yeah, so now what I was gonna do is... swap to Golisopod on the Heat Wave to get another emergency exit. But I think I did the switching out of order, because my Arcanine took way more damage than I expected. I think if I swap it in now, it's going to die to the yeah, I calculated it. I was actually supposed to swap into... I wasn't supposed to swap right into Arcanine. I was supposed to swap to Golisopod to take that Leech Life damage. Yeah, because now, let me see, because I'm at 260... I'm at 94 HP. Let's see. So an eighth of my... I take 32 damage each turn. I could still go to Golisopod on this incoming Heat Wave. To at least not take one tick of damage. But that crit definitely mattered, because let me see it. Because the goal here from here was to KO the goal here was to KO the Crobat here with Arcanine with Heat Wave into extreme speed. But I think I'm gonna take too much damage from the Magma Storm now. Because if I do... I'm at 94. I'll take 32 for 2 turns. That would bring me down to 30. And max roll Heat Wave crit deals a little over 30. Yeah, so I'd be risking Arcanine getting KO'd here, which I definitely can't have happen. I could try going to Hydreigon, because Hydreigon also doesn't take that much damage from Heat Wave. Let me see. See. My Hydreigon's at 140. On Hydreigon, he would take 29 damage from the Magma Storm. And max roll Heat Wave crit deals 54. But Heat Wave can also burn, too. Yeah, so 140... I would have to take 2 Heat Waves, so... I think Hydreigon would take too much damage too. Well, I guess what I could do, I should survive at least one turn with Hamilton. I mean, with Arcanine. And he is holding the Shed Shell, so I could swap to Hydreigon after. I think I have to go for it, though. And I have to hope that Heat Wave doesn't get a crit. Yeah, we gotta go for this. So here's Heat Wave. This should bring us to emergency exit. And unfortunately, we do take some damage. On the swap in, which is unfortunate. Alright, Arcanine's gonna have to clutch up here. Alright. Don't get crit, please. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, perfect. Woo! It's just barely lived. Alright, now I don't remember if... because I could KO with extreme speed, but I don't know. I don't remember if you take Magma Storm damage at the end of a fight. Because you don't take status damage at the very end of a fight. So let me just do a quick Google search here. Let's see. Yeah, I believe it shouldn't. Yeah, because this is the last mon, so if I KO it, I shouldn't take this Magma Storm chip. Yeah. I'm gonna trust that that's true. Hit some KO with extreme speed here. If I lose Arcanine here, I'd be very sad. But we shouldn't. Alright, come on, buddy. Perfect. Woo! Okay. Woo! Alright. It's very, very scary start. I gotta make sure, I really gotta make sure I look over my notes carefully. Yeah, but that was very close. If I got double crit with the Leech Life into Heat Wave, Arcanine would have definitely been KO'd. Yeah, I remember I calced that too. That's why I was supposed to swap the Golisopod on the Leech Life. Yeah, I need to... make sure I'm taking every step carefully here. Alright, but we made it through. Alright, so let's go ahead and save. And let's take a look at the next fight here. Yeah, and as you could tell, all these fights have their own fun, devious mechanics to them. Alright, so for the next fight here... Let's see, this is grunt number 14. Let's see, for this fight, we need... let's see, we need... let's see, we need Blaziken. We need Golisopod, which we already have. We need Hydreigon again, Electrode again, and we need Dragapult. Oh yeah, and then we need... Where's he at? Lycanroc. Alright, and then... One thing we need to do is... We need to teach... Lycanroc Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb to Lycanroc. And we're gonna teach it over Sucker Punch. Alright, then now for items. We need Shed Shell for Lycanroc. We need Shed Shell for Blaziken. And for other items, we need Life Orb on Golisopod. We need... Let's see, Electrode still holds the magnet, and Dragapult holds the dragon thing. Hydreigon doesn't hold an item here. Alright, and then for pre-damage... Let's see here. Let's see, this is the next fight, right? And then for pre-damage, we only need Lycanroc to be at 161 HP. Let's see, he's in the 4th slot. go. That should be good. Yeah, so... Triple check. Shed Shell, Life Orb, no item, Shed Shell, Magnet, Dragon Fang. And we taught Rock Tomb. Alright. Let's go ahead and do the next fight here. Let's go and fast forward a little bit here. It's always such a long run back. Alright, here we go. Alright, first fight done. Second fight should be up over here. There we go. Alright, so let me save. Triple check. We are leading Blaziken. That is correct. And we got Blaziken with Shed Shell, Blissapod with Life Orb, no item, Hydreigon, Shed Shell, Lycanroc 161 HP, Magnet, Electro, Dragon Fang, Dragapult. Alright. This should be good. I'm gonna be extra attentive to my notes this time. Alright, let's go and do this here. Alright. Magma Grunt number 2. Alright, so this guy leads off with a Grimmsnarl with Prankster. And he does have Fake Out, which he is going to go for first. So what I'm going to do is, because of the Shed Shell, I'm going to swap just directly into Golisopod on the incoming Fake Out. Like Fake Out, take a little bit of Magma Storm Chip. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to deal some chip damage because I can out-prioritize with First Impression. So I'm going to go for First Impression. He'll attack me, which should trigger Emergency Exit. And then we'll go from there. So go for First Impression. Take a Darkest Lariat. We emergency exit. And we're gonna go into Lycanroc. And then because of that damage, we can now outspeed and KO with high horsepower. And this should always bait in Turtonator. So after the Magma Storm, we should be Turtonator coming in. Perfect. Alright, so Turtonator sees a slow KO with its moves. However, it's holding an eject pack, which normally, if it uses overheat, that's what it wants to use to be able to swap out. But this is why I taught Rock Tomb, because Rock Tomb will lower the speed, which will also trigger the emergency pack. Swapping it out, which should always bait in Incineroar. So we'll go for Rock Tomb here. Lowers the speed, triggers eject pack. And then Incineroar comes in. Perfect. Alright, so Incineroar comes in, and it's gonna go for a slow KO with either it could go for a slow KO or it could go for fake out. Either of which is all perfectly fine. We're gonna take whatever it's gonna attack with our Hydreigon, which can take whatever hit it goes for. Yep, so Earthquake. We're immune to that. And then now we can Hydreigon is always baiting in highest damaging move, which is Blaze Kick. So now what we can do is we could U-turn to swap out. And we are going to U-turn into Blaziken on the Blaze Kick here. Yep, perfect. We take that pretty well. And then now we go for a KO with Close Combat. Alright. So Incineroar goes down. And then after the Magma Storm damage and the defense drops, this should always be bringing in Jumpluff next. So we should see Jumpluff, perfect. And this Jumpluff is a real threat because it's got Spore, it's got Substitute, and Air Slash to flinch you. It's very fast. But on this turn, it sees a fast KO with Air Slash on my Blaziken, which it always has to go for. It can't go for any of its setup moves. So we are going to, because of the Shed Shell, swap to Electrode on the incoming Air Slash. We should always survive. Even a crit, plus Magma Storm. Alright, so now, Jumpluff, because Electrode's a grass type, he can't go for Spore, he can't go for Leech Seed. The only thing he could do right now is either attack with Air Slash again, or set up Substitute. Both of which are perfectly fine, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to Volt Switch, dealing some damage. And I'm going to bring in Dragapult on whatever it goes for here. Just triple check. Volt Switch to Dragapult, yep. Yep, so there's a Substitute, which normally would be very scary, although my Dragapult has Infiltrator, which bypasses the Substitute here. So we could just outspeed and KO with Dragon Darts through the Substitute here. Perfect. Alright, so jump up goes down. And then from here it's checkmate. Because the next thing that's gonna come in is Licky Licky. Which only has the move Explosion and has a Quick Claw. So he has to explode, but I'm a Ghost type, so it's not gonna do anything. Yep, Explosion. He's a goofy guy. Alright. And then this just leaves the Turtonator again. We can just outspeed and KO as well with Dragon Darts. Alright. I'm really glad the jump left went for substitute there. I was glad I was able to show that off. Alright, there we go. That's much cleaner of a fight. There are 3 battles left. One more Grunt, and then it's Tabitha, and then Maxi last. So, the next Grunt should also be riskless. So, it's really with Tabitha when things start to get risky. So, let's go ahead and save again. Alright, so next up is Final Grunt. Grunt's number 15. So let me get the notes for that one here. Alright, so for this fight, we are going to need Infernape. We will need Hydreigon again. We're gonna need Gliscor. Let's see, we need Golisopod. We need Roserade. Let's see, where's... Where's she at? Oh, there she is. Roserade. And we need Copperajah. Finally getting to come out of the box. We'll put Galvantula back over here. Alright, and then for items, we need Infernape with the Shed Shell. We need Roserade with a Shed Shell. And then we need black glasses for Hydreigon. We need citrus for Golisopod. we need zoom lens for Copper Raja. Let's see. There we go. Zoom lens. And then, before the fight starts, I need to pre-toxic Copper Raja. Make sure I remember to do that. And then Gliscor needs to be at 219 HP. Alright, there we go. Alright, that should be good. Alright. Last grunt before the boss battles here. So let's go ahead and head on over there. Such a long run back. I wish they had updated this game to have a pocket PC, but what can you do? Alright. So third trainer. Make sure I don't run into him by accident. Okay, he's up here. Alright. So let me pre-toxic Copper Raja. Alright, cool. And that should be good. Let's go ahead and save. Okay. Triple check all my items here. Shed shell, black glasses, 219, citrus, shed shell, zoom lens. Alright, this should be good. We are leading Infernape. Alright, let me update the... Update the battle screen here. There we go. Alright. Let's go and do this here. Alright, final Magma Grunt. This guy leads off with a Galvantula. And this Galvantula has sticky webs and has a focus sash. Which normally makes it very difficult to prevent it from setting up sticky webs. But Infernape is one of the best counters for this because we can just go ahead and fake out to break the focus sash. And then we can outspeed and KO with overheats. And this should always be baiting in Magmortar. Hey, what's up, Matt? Glad you're able to come tune in. Appreciate you stopping by. Alright, so Magmortar here sleeves a slow KO into my Infernape with either Psychic or Scorching Sands. But it's also holding a Choice Specs, locking it into whatever move it goes for. So conveniently, both Psychic and Scorching Sands, my Hydreigon is immune to. So I could swap in on whatever move, and it'll be locked in into a completely ineffective move here. So, yep, we'll swap, go Hydreigon. So, there we go, Psychic. And again, because of the choice specs, it can't go for any other move. Now, in this situation, the AI could decide to swap out because of its ineffective moves under certain conditions. However, it can't do that because my Hydreigon shows that it outspeeds and 1 or 2 shots everything else on the enemy's team. So unfortunately, Magmortar cannot swap out. He's just stuck here to get KO'd. And I'm gonna KO it with 2 Dark Pulses. Yeah, so 2 Dark Pulses will take this thing out. Yep, another ineffective Psychic. Go for 1 more Dark Pulse here for the KO. And this should always be baiting in Ursaring next. Perfect. Alright, now this Ursaring is a little scary because it does have, was it the Toxic Boost? Is that what it is? Oh no, Quick Feet. And it's holding a Toxic Orb, so once it's poisoned, its speed will increase, and also will increase the damage of Facade. But on the first turn that it's swapped in, the Toxic Orb hasn't procced yet. So right now it's going to go for Facade, which is not buffed yet. So it won't deal as much damage. So what I can do here is go for a U-turn, deal some damage, and swap out. And I'm going to swap to Gliscor to take the hit here. Yep, so there's Facade. Take it pretty well. Alright, but now it's gonna get poisoned. So its speed is increased, and now Facade does a lot more damage. But Gliscor still outspeeds, even with the Quick Feet activated. So, because Ursaring's base speed is pretty low. So we can go ahead, and Gliscor also has U-turn, so we can swap out again. Deal a little bit more damage. And then we are going to swap to Golisopod to take the incoming Facade, which should always proc Emergency Exit. Perfect. So Emergency Exit, swap out again, and we will bring in Hydreigon without taking any damage. And then now we can just outspeed and KO with Aura Sphere for the KO. So this takes out Ursaring. And this should always be baiting in a Carnivine next. If I did everything correctly here. Perfect. Alright, so it was important that I baited in Carnivine here, because I needed to bait the Arbok last. And I'll explain why once we get there, but Carnivine here is gonna go for either Leaf Storm or Sleep Powder. So from here we can go ahead and U-turn, deal some damage. And then we'll go to Roserade, which will take Leaf Storm very well, and is immune to Sleep Powder because of being a grass type. Yep, perfect. Doesn't affect. And then from here we can just go ahead and outspeed and KO with a Sludge Bomb. Alright, and then this just leaves the last Mon, which is going to be an Arbok. And the reason why I wanted to bait this Arbok last is because it's holding a Bright Powder, making you 10% less accurate with all your moves. And baiting it last was the best way I had to be able to deal with this thing. And here is my first risk of the fights, or of these string of fights. I'm gonna right now. Arbok is always gonna go for a Sludge Bomb KO, so I'm gonna swap to my Copperajah, which will be immune. Yeah, so Gunk Shot, yeah. There we go, so take no damage. We are pre-toxicked, so we will take a little bit of damage there. Alright, and then Copperajah does have a chance to die here. Because if Arbok, its highest damaging move it could go for it is Aqua Tail. And my highest damaging move on it is High Horsepower. So, but High Horsepower only has about an 80% chance to KO. So, I am risking having to sack Copperajah here. But majority of the time it should be fine. If I get unlucky, I'll just have to end up sacking, which is perfectly fine. I don't need it for the next 2 fights. And then I'll just revenge KO. So, Iron Maiden, let's see if you're worth your salt here. Let's see, Aqua Tail. Alright, no crit. Did you get the KO here? Alright, great job. We hit those. So easy. Alright, and there's all the grunts done. Now we just got two of some of the scariest fights in the game. And this is where the real risk starts. Oh, I don't want to go. I'm not trying to go. I don't want to go to New Marble. Alright. The next fight, the first of the boss fights, is Magma Admin Tabitha. Which, if you take a look at this team here, she's got a ridiculous team. With the given circumstances, so... this fight is not riskless. It's not riskless. But I think I managed to minimize the risk as much as possible. So majority of the time we should be able to come out of this relatively fine. But there are some branching paths based on what happens in the fight here, so... pretty scary fight. If things go well, unfortunately this is where I'm going to need to do my first sack. I tried to see if I could do... Because I've been deathless up until this point, and I tried to see if I could stay that way, but it's just too much risk involved, so... yeah, let's go ahead and set this up here. Alright, so we need Dragapult. We need Lycanroc. We're keeping Hydreigon. We need Golisopod still. We need Sneasler. And we need Blaziken. Alright. And then let's see for items. We need Shed Shells for Golisopod. Shed Shell for Golisopod. We need Shed Shell for Sneasler. And then... let's see, we need Muscle Bands on Dragapult. Muscle Band. We need Life Orb for Lycanroc. We need Cherry Berry on Hydreigon. And we need Black Belt for Blaziken. Alright, and then for pre-damage, we need Dragapult to be at 235. Perfect, and then we need Golisopod at 211 HP. Alright. Perfect. And that should be everything. Alright. Let's go ahead and make our way over there. Alright. I'm going to speed up a little bit here. Alright. So we beat you. We beat you. Let's see. Let me make sure, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Next one should be over here. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let me save. And triple check that I have everything correct here. Let's see. Dragapult, Muscle Band, 235 HP. Lycanroc with Life Orb. Golisopod with Shed Shell at 211 HP. Sneasler with a Shed Shell. Hydreigon, Cherry Berry, and Black Belt, Blaziken. Alright, this should be good. Like I said, there is some risk to this fight. So hopefully things will turn out well for us here. And we are leading Dragapult for sure. Yeah. Alright. Let's go and do this here. Alright, Magma and Tabitha. This is our rematch. So she leads a Blacephalon with a Focus Sash. And it has Explosion. But Dragapult is the perfect counter to this because Dragon Darts will two-shot it. Well, it'll one-shot with 2 hits, which will bypass its Focus Sash because it hits twice. We'll start with the KO here. So Blacephalon goes down, and this should always be baiting in Absol. Perfect. Alright, now, this is a Mega Absol, but it hasn't Mega'd yet. And this is the first minor risk, but it's a pretty big one, because Absol right now does see a KO with both Night Slash and Sucker Punch. Majority of the time, Absol's gonna go for Sucker Punch because it sees it as a fast KO, whereas Night Slash is a slow KO. However, there's a specific niche in the AI. If it sees that it has a super effective move that is also a high crit chance move, it gets an additional score. So, there's a 4% chance that Absol will go for Night Slash over Sucker Punch. We needed to go for Sucker Punch here. It's because I need to swap to Golisopod, and I need him to not take damage from this incoming attack. So if we see Sucker Punch, we're perfectly fine. So let's go. First, big risk here. Golisopod, you got me, bro. Let's do this here. Come on. Alright, so it's gonna Mega Evolve. Yeah, basically. Perfect. Woo! Alright. First luck check down. Yeah, so we swapped in. Sucker Punch fails. And yeah, Joe, just like you said, because I swapped in Golisopod, he can just one-shot this Absol with First Impression. so the Mega Absol goes down. This should always bring in Yanmega next. Perfect. Alright, so Yanmega here sees a fast KO with a Flying Gem boosted Air Slash. So what I'm going to do from here, and it does have speed boost, making it very difficult to deal with. But because I have a Shed Shell, it allows me to swap, and I'm going to swap to my Lycanroc, which can take the Air Slash fairly well here. So Flying Gem boosted. Yep, take it pretty well. It gets its speed boost. But in this case, it doesn't matter. Because with a Life Orb, a Celorock can out-prioritize and one-shot this Yanmega here. So Yanmega goes down. And this is always going to bring in the Victini next. Perfect. And this is unfortunately where I'm gonna have to say goodbye to Boston to keep it safe. I am going to attack one more time with a Celorock, dealing some chip damage to the Victini here as it goes for a random move. However, this is where branching paths can happen because the Victini also has an eject pack. So if it goes for V-Create, its eject pack will proc and swap it out. Ideally, that doesn't happen. I do have a backup plan if that does happen, but what would be a lot easier is if it goes for any other move except for V-Create. So I'm gonna go for a Celorock as Boston goes down. Ideally, we don't see V-Create. So let's see what happens here. Okay, perfect. Alright, cool. Alright, so we don't have to go with the backup strategy. Because it didn't go for V-Create, so its eject pack didn't get procced. So this is the easier line now. So what I can do now is I can just bring in Dragapults. And I can Revenge KO with let's see, probably I could, depending on the damage, I could go for Shadow Ball. But I think Phantom Force should be fine. I think I calced that 2 rounds of Magma Storm Shift should be perfectly fine. Yeah, so I'm gonna go for Phantom Force just to be safe here. Yeah, so there's a V-Create. And then Phantom Force takes it out. This should always be bringing in the Snorlax next. Perfect. Alright, and now, this Snorlax is scary because it does have Curse with Rest and Leftovers. But with a Muscle Band, my Dragon Dart just barely shows a potential to hit KO on this Snorlax. And because I outspeed it, it de-incentivizes it to go for Curse. So It should never go for Curse here. It should always go for Heat Crash. So because of that, I could swap to Galissapod again, which will proc an emergency exit, allowing us a safe switch in. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that here. Perfect. He crashed. It got the absolute min-roll there, funnily enough. And then now we can safely bring in my Sneasler here. Yep. And then I can outspeed and KO with a fake out into close combat. Well, unfortunately, Sneasler doesn't get Dire Claw in this game, so it's not the broken one that it's known for right now, but it's still pretty great. So even after the leftovers recovery, this close combat should always be a guaranteed KO now. Alright. And this just leaves a Hitmonlee. And let me just double check one more thing here with the calcs. Sneasler. 142. Yeah. So this is where I get to take advantage of another niche AI mechanic in this game. This Hitmonlee has Fake Out with a normal gem, with Unburden. So if it uses Fake Out, Unburden procs and doubles its speed, which outspeeds everything on your team. But my Sneasler has Inner Focus. And even though I show that I outspeed in one shot, because I have Inner Focus, the AI can never go for Fake Out, even if it sees that it's about to get KO'd. I triple checked this. I looked all through the Discord to make sure this is correct. But if you have an Inner Focus Mon, the AI could be completely disincentivized for going for Fake Out here. So I should just be able to simply outspeed and one-shot with another close combat. Yep, and there we go. Woo! Alright. Tabitha down. Alright. Just one more fight left, which is by far the most difficult out of all the fights here. And this is going to be the most resource-heavy fights that I've done so far in my attempt. So I'm going to need to take a little bit of time to do a little prep for that. So let's save. And pay tribute to Boston. He came in clutch for every Yanmega that I had to face in this game. He also showed up pretty hard on the Winona fight too against the Volcarona. So definitely a very honorable sacrifice. Alright, so all that's left now is Maxi himself. And if I pull up the team here, you'll see how crazy this next fight is. Yeah, if you just take a quick look at this team, you'll see right away why no one's been able to beat this section of the game deathless yet. Because, I mean, look at what we're dealing with here. We got Groudon setting up the sun, a chlorophyll Tangrowth with Weather Ball, Swords Dance Garchomp with Rough Skin, Rocky Helmets, Choice Scarf Naganadel, Mew with Dragon Dance, and then a Mega Houndoom with Destiny Bond. So, and you're still in Magma Storm. So, yeah. This fight was the one that was kind of giving me the most trouble, but I think I figured out. It should be guaranteed, but it is pretty resource heavy. So, yeah, I have it the team calced here. So let me go ahead and gather the guys first here. So for this last fight, we need Roserade. We need Dragapult. We're keeping Sneasler. Let's see, we need first time coming out of the box, Cast Form, making his debut. A very short-lived debut, but a debut nonetheless. And then we need Eldegoss. Hydreigon, and Sneasler. Alright, and then for this fight, we need Shed Shell on Roserade. And on let's see, do I need it on Sneasler? I think so. Let's see. Yeah, he's already holding his Shed Shell. And then I need Life Orb for Dragapult. And then I need to teach Dragapult this is the first of the investments. I need to teach him Flamethrower over Shadow Ball. So we're gonna do that. This is my only Flamethrower TM, but I do also have a Shadow Ball TM, so I could reteach it if I need to. But Flamethrower is necessary for this fight, so I'm going to teach that here. And then I believe I also need to use one Rare Candy on him. Yeah, because this to allow a guaranteed one-shot on the Garchomp. So we Rare Candy to level 80. Alright, and then the biggest investment here is going to be on my Hydreigon. I need to use 2 rare candies, and I need to use my remaining 3 heart scales that I have right now to change his nature to timid. To get its speed so that he can outspeed the Mew on this team. Which he can do at level 81 with a timid nature. So, that's what I'm gonna do next. You need 3 heart scales to change a Pokemon's nature in this game. Which is a big investment, but Hydreigon is a really good mon, so I think in the long run I'll probably get... This is probably worthwhile. People end up doing this on a Hydreigon, so... So we need timid, plus speed, minus attack. Yes. Change him to timid. Yep. So now he's plus speed, but I still need 2 more rare candies to make him outspeed. So this is the most resources that I've invested so far in my attempts. But it should make this fight basically guaranteed. So we use 2 rare candies here to level 81. And then I believe he doesn't need an item here. Let me just triple check that here. Speeds. Let's see. I guess I could give Hydreigon a... So I don't need a Shed Shell on him to swap him out, because I'm going to use U-Turn. But... Mew is going to be going for Flare Blitz, so I could give him a Frost Berry just in case of burn. And then I don't need any other items. I believe this is what I need here to be successful. It's... let's see. Yeah, this should be good. Alright. Let me just triple check. So, Shed Shell, No item. Life Orb at level 80 for Dragapults. Eldegoss, no item. Frostberry, level 81, Timid Nature. To be at 206 speed on Hydreigon. And Shed Shell. Shed Shell Sneasler. Alright. This should do it. Let's go head on over to Maxie. This will be a huge milestone if we can get past this. Make it all the way back here. Oh, wrong way. Alright. Final fight up ahead here. I think this is the... Oh, we got Team Explosion. Nice. That might come in handy at some point. Alright. Maxie should just be up ahead here. Let me save. Triple check everything here. Shed Shell. Got you. Level 80 Life Orb. Eldegoss. Frostberry. Level 81. Timid. Shed Shell. Alright. There he is. No turning back now. Let's do this here. Alright, Magma leader Maxie leads his Groudon with Drought to set up Sun for permanently throughout the whole fight, on top of also the permanent Magma Storm. Thankfully, Groudon is actually the easiest to deal with because I could just simply outspeed and one-shot this with Leaf Storm with my Roserade. So, Groudon goes down, and this comes in the first demon on the team. Next up should be Tangrowth. This thing's a monster because it has Chlorophyll, making it faster than almost everything on your team, and has a Life Orb with Weather Ball, boosted by the sun, which does crazy damage. Right now it sees a KO with Weather Ball, but because I have a Shed Shell, I'm able to swap out my Roserade. I'm going to swap to my my Castform, which you notice it's underleveled, because typically what most people do is sack their Castform on this fight, so because he's not really that useful. So I'm just going to swap to Castform to get a free swap. we'll get to show off his forecast ability here. He got critical hit too. Oh, how unfortunate. Well, if anyone was gonna take a crit, I'm glad that cast form did. Alright, so now we could bring in Dragapult for free. And this is why I needed to teach Flamethrower, because now in the sun, I can outspeed, even in Chlorophyll, and one-shot the Team Growth with Flamethrower here. So, first demon goes down, second demon's about to come in here. The next demon that's going to come in is the Naganadel. And this thing's a demon because it has Choice Scarf, making it faster than everything that you could possibly have on your team. It's so I try to find ways, because of Choice Scarf, it does lock itself into a move. I try to figure out a way to work around that, but because of the Switch AI, everything was too risky. So all I'm gonna do is swap to my Eldegoss to take the hits, proccing Cotton down to lower its speed, and then unfortunately, Eldegoss also needs to get sacked here. This one hurts a little bit more because Cotton Down is a very useful ability, but at this point in the game, it's too frail to be that useful. So, I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice it here. Naganadel is gonna go for Dragon Pulse here. Yeah. Alright, so we'll die to another Dragon Pulse here. Florence, you also came in clutch in the early game. Sad to see you go, but I also appreciate what you've done for us so far. Alright, so it does get its Beast Boost, but again, its speed is lowered. And despite it having the Choice Scarf, with that reduced speed, Dragapult can now outspeed it, so I'm going to bring it back in. And I could outspeed and one-shot it with Dragon Darts. Alright. So now from here, my Dragapult sees potential one-shot KOs against everything else on the team right now. So it's just going to be baiting in order, so the next thing that should come in is Garchomp. So take Magma Storm. Garchomp comes in. And because of the rare candy I used on my Dragapults, a Life Orb boosted Dragon Darts always one-shots this Garchomp, no matter what. So Garchomp goes down. We'll take some more damage. The next demon that's going to come in is the Mew. Alright, and Dragapult doesn't do enough damage to see a guaranteed one-shot with Phantom Force, and even if I did, I would die to the residual damage from here. But right now it sees, because I outspeed and outdamage, it can't go for Dragon Dance, which it does have, and Soft Boiled. It can only go for an attacking move, which in this case is going to be Psychic. So from here, I'm going to swap to my Hydreigon, who will be immune to the incoming Psychic here. I believe sometimes it could go for Flare Blitz too, which is also perfectly fine. Oh, Psychic Fangs, perfect. Alright, and this is why I needed to use the three, this is why I needed to use my 3 Heart Scales, and the 2 Rare Candies, so that I can outspeed this Hydreigon. I outspeed the Mew with my Hydreigon. This allows it so that the Mew can never go for Dragon Dance here, because I outspeed and I 2-shot it. So, what I'm going to do from here, I could KO with 2 Dark Pulses, but the problem is that if I do that, the Mega Houndoom comes in next and can basically kill anything that I swap into it. So, instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little dance here. I'm going to carefully deal some damage, so that way I can get it low enough to KO it with U-turn. So, I'm going to go for a Draco Meteor first, which it can never kill with a critical hit. So it's going to go for Flare Blitz, which will also deal damage to itself. Alright, and now I'm going to go for either 1 or 2 Aura Spheres. Oh, it is? Oh. Wait, it can go for Soft Boiled? Oh, I forgot. I forgot about the... That's right, because of the... Oh man, because of my lowered special attack, it no longer my Hydreigon no longer sees that it can outdamage. So it can heal itself. Oh, that's really bad. Yeah, because now I can no longer guarantee U-turn. Oof, yeah, this is not good. Yeah, because my plan was to KO with U-turn, which I could then go right to my Sneasler, and then just KO the Houndoom. But now I can't do that. Yeah, let me see. Oh man, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, because I'm 81, Timid Nature. Yeah, I no longer outdamage. Yeah, I think what I need to do here now is... probably go try to do some damage with Dark Pulse and then U-turn out. Oh, this sucks. I probably need to sack Roserade now. Oh, man. Let me see something. Yeah, I think I need to go for a Dark Pulse and then U-turn, but then who... And then I have to just U-turn into... Yeah, because if I U-turn right into... Sneasler, then it's just dead. And my Dragapult's too low to survive Life Orb damage. Alright, but I have to do some damage here regardless, so... Let's go for a Dark Pulse. Hopefully we see a flinch here. Okay, Flare Blitz, don't crit, please. Okay. I should be... Okay. I should survive... Magma Storm, just barely. Okay. Alright, so Mew can't go for Soft Boy now. It sees a guaranteed KO with Flare Blitz. So I can U-turn out, but it's not gonna KO. And I can't go to Sneasler because it's always dead to a Flare Blitz. And I can't go to I can't go to Dragapult because it's dead either. Yeah. So unfortunately I have to sack Roserade here. Because that's the only way I could take the Mew out and then take out the Houndoom. Oh, man, I really wanted to avoid this because Roserade is one of my only good grass types. And now I don't have any grass types, so... But it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna have to do that here. So, yeah, we'll go for U-turn. Sack Roserade. Pray for crit. I don't even think crit U-turn could KO either, because I'm a minus attack nature. All right, well we'll see. Can we get a crit kill? Oh, just so close. Alright. Ah, man, this sucks. Sorry, Roserade. I didn't want to have to do this. Oh, man. That's really unfortunate. Alright, but now it's guaranteed. Because the last thing it has is its Mega Houndoom. So I can just go straight to Sneasler. Yeah, and even a Mega Houndoom, I always outspeed and one-shot with close combat. Alright. We still did it! It's... Oh, man. Very unfortunate about the Roserade death there, but... Man. Still do what you gotta do. Man, that was a nail biter. My Hydreigon just barely lived there. Yeah, we'll take the win. For sure. Oh, man. But now I don't have any grass types. Both of mine, I had to sack both of them. But this is now, we've now made it past Magma Hideout. It's huge milestone. So we can... Yeah, we can just go ahead and head on out here. Alright. Let's save. And add to our death box here. So, Eldegoss. Cast Form. And unfortunately Roserade are added to the death box. Putting us at 9 deaths now. So let me update that here. Alright, it's pretty bittersweet, but sub 10 deaths is like pretty crazy. So I am still, I mean this run is still looking very, very good. Having no grass types does suck. But I do have a chance at another grass type encounter inside of Magma Hideout. Unfortunately, those encounters can't explode though, so but yeah, it's a very minor thing. But overall, very, very happy with getting past this point. So I might take a little break from this. The next thing after this is Team Aqua Hideout. So the hard fights don't stop, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up there for tonight. Joe, thanks for hanging in with me. Appreciate you watching. And everyone else who tuned in. I appreciate everyone watching. Hope everyone has a great rest of their evening. And I'll see everyone in my next stream.